Hello, I was asked to do a mini game tutorial and specifically I guess how to get it into VPX. I've been at this for a while, like all morning, and I couldn't get the tutorial, under 2 hours. So if you want to see me make a game in GameMaker, I use GameMaker for this. Let me know and I'll go more in depth, but there's so many tutorials and so many great people out online that are far better at GameMaker than I am, and probably way better teachers that'll teach you this stuff and how to create a simple game. Our little game here, we created a player object. I created a sprite for him. Created an enemy that's kind of animated with his eyeballs. I did that inside the built-in graphics drawing piece of GameMaker, to draw the sprite. Threw some timer objects in here and a countdown. We're auto spawning this enemy in between the bounds of this wall. We have some code to stop it from moving too far to the left and too far to the right, and we're using WS as under our player object to handle moving him left or right, because Nailbuster, who put all of this stuff together, and we wouldn't be here without him, which is pretty amazing. He used W and S, and I like to keep it the same just so we don't have to make any extra changes in VPX. But if we do, I use Magna keys sometimes, and I will use the arrows, but you just have to be conscious of that, and then your key down and key up, you change it. What I do under game options, I pay for GameMaker, so some of this functionality might not be in a free version, and I apologize, but I'll take you through what I do. I give it display name of what the game is. I add that here to the executable name. I put me in there, Ayatollah of Rock is the company, and then for product, copyright, and description, I put that game display name there. VPX is going to look for a window title. I have no idea which one of these GameMaker is using, so this just keeps me straight. Somebody smarter than me might come up with something better, but that's what we got. We're going to copy to the output the executable to an output folder, and we're going to disable the file system sandbox because I'm not smart enough to figure out how to make text files generate out of GameMaker. I had to find this library file system and add that to our game. Whenever we publish this game and create an executable, it'll add the appropriate DLL file to allow us to make a score.txt file that VPX will be able to read and add to the score if you choose. So you need to disable the file system sandbox for that. Graphics, we want to uncheck display cursor. Start full screen, we want to only have allow window resize and borderless window. Keep aspect ratio. Under images, you can add your own icon. I usually put a snare drum to it, and maybe I will walk you through that in case somebody needs to see it. I'm just going into, I hope I don't have anything too bad in my downloads. We'll go real quick past it all. Some of the stuff I'm working on Joey for Punch Out. So here, drum icon. Boop. So I'll put a little drum icon, snare drum in there. If you want to use a splash screen, go ahead and add it. Same fashion, just go choose a splash screen. It'll come up before the game actually starts. So that's it. Now we're going to get it ready to go into VPX. I'm going to go to build and create executable, packages zip. This is about the 9,000th time I've done that, so I'm just going to call it, hey man, this is it version. There he is. Hey man, this is it. 7-zip it. I'm going to extract it. And here's our game. I'm going to launch it and play it one time. Boop, just to get the score file generated. Now, we have an awesome test table called Pinup Player Minigame. I added sample V100, I think, because I have a couple versions of it. But Again, Dave put this together. This is all his code. I'm just standing on the shoulders of giants and everything that I've ever done. All of his code, again, it can be found in Pizza Time, Purge, where I put the mini games in Purge, or Rocky and Superman. But I didn't develop this code. I'm just using it or tweaking it a little bit. It's all Dave and I guess Scotty Wick and anybody else that was involved with the over always on top, I think, using that code as well. But you just have to add your pup stuff to it. You have to find these variables for pup minigame and title and game score, and we're going to tell it what location, what folder it's in. So within that directory of the pup sample V100, which is the pup videos pup folder, there's a directory in there called minigame.tut6. So if I find that, sorry, get my background. Hopefully there's nothing bad popping up here and there, but yeah, I don't I have to go here real quick and pin up pup videos and go to pin up player pup game sample V100. So all of these are in here that I tested with, but in particular the one we're dealing with today is this AR pup tut V2, and I went through the process of extracting it out of GameMaker, and I would have ran it and then got the score file generated and then copied and pasted into this minigame tut6, and that's what we have. Here it's going to launch that executable. Here's the window title, and there's where the score file is going to be. If we go down and look at the key down and key up stuff, there's a variable in here for pup game if pup game is running. Then when I click the left flipper key, send 87, which is W, or send 83 if I'm using the right flipper key. And key up will be the same. And then we're going to use this awesome code from Dave, to communicate with the game and show the game within pup. And then when all the game's all over, it's going to kick us out. I have a message box just showing the score. You don't need that because it's going to break the game, your VPX gameplay. But for just to make sure it's working, I like to have that in there. So we're going to launch VPX, that game, in the sample table with the mini game. I'm going to cheat and put my ball right there, and ooh, got it first shot. Hopefully this launches, and now we're just playing, and one more hit over, and I'm dead. And there I got 5,500 and kicked the ball out, and that is that.